today we just finished up with an 11-hour drive from Sydney down to Victoria. Now we have an awesome investigation planned tonight, as it is an overnight investigation.
Welcome back everybody to part 2 of the Pleasant Creek mini-series. Now before we jump into episode 2, which I hope all of you are super excited for, there's a couple of things me and Brendan wanted to clear up before we jump into the episode. Now if some of you follow us on Twitter, you may have seen the catastrophe from when we got back to Sydney. Over 75% of our footage was deleted or lost, or basically just decided to disappear off our hard drives, which is an absolute nightmare. We did however manage to recover all of that footage, though however there are a couple of clips that we didn't manage to recover. Now we're not really too sure whether we lost these on the day while filming, whether they didn't even film, or whether they were just lost during the whole catastrophe. But regardless, we thought we'd take the time to fill you guys in, as there are a couple of clips that are missing that fill a lot of the story between part 1 and 2. Now, as you all would have seen in part 1, we finish off in the morgue. Now, the next steps from there, we were about to take you all upstairs into the women's quarter, which was one of the last connecting wings of the main hospital building that we hadn't shown you yet. Now, in order to get to the women's quarter, we had to venture all the way back through the hospital, out through the main foyer. Now, with a lot of our investigations, we walk around with the EMF reader, we do a first little exploration, walk around, and as we're passing the surgery room, or the operating room, which was the only operating room in the hospital, we decided to head in, and as we do with a lot of investigations, just try to connect to any spirits that are there before actually going into a proper investigation. So Brendan was filming, I was on the other side of the camera. The only thing I had on me was the EMF reader. We went inside the operating room. Now the operating room holds a bit of a significance within the hospital itself, because as you all know, there were over 2,600 deaths at Pleasant Creek Hospital. And being the only operating room in the hospital, majority of those happened in that exact room. Many people who have visited Pleasant Creek Hospital claim to feel very negative energies within that room itself. Once we headed in the room, I had the EMF reader out. I then began to see if there were any spirits there that wished to communicate. A standard sort of thing that we do with our investigations. Simple question, are there any spirits here that would like to communicate? Now, as soon as I said that, the next sound I heard was the sound of a shutter closing, exactly like you'd hear from a camera when it takes a photo. I looked over to Brendan, and Brendan had told me that the camera had completely died.
Now the reason that the camera failed was because the battery actually died, which made no sense as it was a brand new battery, which was fully charged, and we hadn't been filming on it for long, so it shouldn't have failed on us. We decided that we would leave and go pick up a couple of brand new batteries again, fully charged, and then come back and continue filming. As we were leaving, the EMF reader that Rick was holding decided to spike high all the way to the red, which, as you've seen, almost never happens. We stood around for about 30 seconds trying to find the source of that spiking, when as I walked into the hallway and glanced to my left where a mirror was on the ceiling facing back towards me, as a lot of hospitals have, I noticed that there was a man standing behind me in that hallway, looking directly at me. I quickly turned around and he was gone. After that happened, I was obviously concerned, and Rick came and had a look, but we couldn't find the man. We quickly decided to head back to the bags and grab brand new batteries that were fully charged and continue the episode. This is where we pick up.
So guys, as you'll see in the last clip, camera just went completely dead. Now as soon as we walked into this room here, even I heard it, the camera just completely shut off. Now we went to leave, and as we got to the doors to the foyer here, our EMF reader started going absolutely nuts, like all the way pretty much to red. We stood around for a little bit. We tried to communicate to, there's a spirit here called Henry, who apparently is rather, I don't know, I guess you'd say angry spirit, or we tried to call out to see if it was him. Again, the EMF reader went absolutely haywire. We'll pick it back up where we left off with the last scene. Now this is the operating room. This was the only operating room in the hospital. Majority of the people who died from illness or sickness, whatever it was, they died in this room. Guys, the EMFs just started going nuts again. We're not really sure what's causing these things to spike. We've always sort of said we're a little bit, 50-50 on these things, but the fact that it hasn't been spiking all day up until now. And this area as well is the area where apparently Henry is most active. I don't know, Henry, if you're here with us tonight, if this is you making the EMF ready to spike, or if you're putting your energy into this, able to make a noise. Was that a REM pod? Again, Henry, if you're here with us, if you're the one making this EMF ready to go and spike, put your energy into it. This room here is supposed to be extremely active. Now, from what the owner said, this is where the spirit Henry has had the most encounters. Again, Henry, if you're here with us, as you guys can see now, it's pretty much pitch black here. So it's starting to get a little bit later. Now, the last place we have to show you, which is attached to the main building, is upstairs. Now, upstairs was the women's ward. Now, women aged all the way from toddlers all the way through to 18 years old were staying there at the time. And I believed it housed over 40 women, 45 women at a time. There's one room in particular, which we're going to show you up there, where sounds funny, but they seem to pinch males' butts. A lot of males who have been there claim to have felt their butt being pinched. So we're going to go up there and see if we can provoke a spirit to touch our butt. But anyways, with that said, we're going to take you guys up and we're going to show you the women's ward. Now, real quick, we also did bring with us the pendulum and also the EMF reader. So we might give this a little crack while we're up in there. By the way, this was open today. My heart's beating. Yeah, it's closing. It's closing. That was just. Did you see that? Oh. Dude, did you see how hard I was pushing on that to open it?
Yeah. Show me the EMF reader.
Can you?
It's me closing.
Is there something here with us?
Go in.
Is there anything here with us? If there's any spirits here, put your energy into this device in my hand. We mean no harm. There's literally no draft in here. I mean, honestly, it could just be like the hinges or something, but man, you saw like how hard I had to push it.
Yeah.
It's weird. Man, that was weird. Fucking Jesus. So guys, after this was a women's ward, it was actually turned into a boys' ward. Well, part of it was a boys' ward. Only the worst boys, like the most troublesome, the most angered, the most, rowdy, I guess you'd say, was sent up here. Now, for a lot of you who don't know, this was a treatment center in a way. It was somewhere where children with trouble or behavioral issues were sent to learn how to become a better version of themselves, really. And this ward up here was transformed a ward for troubled males. This door here itself was actually installed due to a bunch of riots that took place here. So yeah, basically what they used to do is close this door off to contain all the male youths when there was riots and stuff going on. So anyways, we're going to take you through. We're going to go to the hot spot where I guess a lot of males' butts are touched, and Alright, as well, guys, just in case you hear any other noises, we're here with a few other people up here. Everyone's doing a investigation. So in case you do hear a little bit of background noise, guys, close the doors already. Alright, let's just close the doors. So this room here is a really big hot spot. A lot of people have claimed to be touched in this room. If there are any spirits in this room, if you'd like to make yourself known. If there are any spirits in here, anything lingering, if you put your energy into this device, invite you to touch us if you'd like. Feel your presence if you're here with us. Make yourself known. If there are any spirits here in this room with us right now, able to swing this pendulum left to right. No joke, my wrist. I felt it just brush up my wrist. I'm not moving. Dude, no joke. It's on my elbow. I don't want to move too much. It's gone down my wrist. It's on my elbow. I felt something literally, I felt the hairs on my arm move. And if there are spirits in this room, make yourself known. Put all your energy into this pendulum, swing it left to right for us. Put all your energy into this pendulum, swing it all the way left to right. No joke, it's on my wrist. I'm not even kidding you. Put your wrist down. I'm literally show you what I'm feeling. Like, imagine your veins here. I feel this kind of squeeze. It's not like hard. It's just like a pressure. Try to turn the light on for a sec. Give a try to the pendulum. See if you literally do. It felt like something was on my fucking wrist. Man, that was fucking weird.
If there's anyone with us here right now, can you please swing the pendulum here in my hand from right to left, please? I just feel vibration of the string. I just feel the vibration of the string.
We're definitely going to try the Ouija board tonight, and we have a couple of other methods, things that we've never heard of, things that we've never done before. So I say, with that said, I say we jump into an actual investigation. Like I said, we've shown you guys around the place. There's only one more spot that we're going to show you. We'll show you that a little bit later on, maybe later on towards the night. But yeah, I say we jump into an investigation. Alrighty, let's do it. Now, where our last clip ends is with myself and Brendan leaving the room where supposedly a lot of males were touched. Now, I will quickly touch on the part where I mentioned my wrist and arm being grabbed. As I do say in the video, it was a very light touch. It felt as if it originated from my wrist, moving all the way down to my elbow. It was extremely soft. All the hairs on my arm stood up when I felt it. It was a very surreal sort of feeling. Once we leave that room, myself and Brendan meet up with two of the girls from our group of the night to join them in their investigation. Now, in their investigation, they speak to a boy named Brayden, who they've spoken to previously throughout the night. And it turns out that the spirits that we speak to and the questions that were answered are going to be playing a much deeper role in the events that take place through Pleasant Creek. With that said, we'll jump into the next clip.
Alright, so we have Morgan here, one of the investigators, who is trying to communicate with a spirit here that she communicated with before.
Do you want to maybe give us like a bit of a backstory or?
We were just connecting with like a 16-year-old boy was it Braden? Yeah. The same again, mate. Can you open them for yes? Cross them for no? Again with the bird. That bird is following us.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Man, this guy's gone. Oh, man. I thought it was a bat. Man, just had to way out. Oh, yeah.
You hear, mate? Yeah. Braden, can you point those sticks in the direction to where you're standing, mate? So we know. You're right in the middle of Lana and I again, aren't you? So Braden, last time we were speaking, are you 16? I'll say no question. Braden, are you a girl? Thanks, mate. I knew that. I just wanted to get it ascertained.
So there's a 16-year-old male Braden here.
Were you...
Oh, he's two of them now.
What? Where did the second one come from?
The second one come from?
This morning.
That literally just came from nowhere. That's like, seriously, you're not a man.
We need help.
Just manifest.
Ask if Braden is making these birds.
Braden, mate, are you bringing those birds here for us? Yes.
Does he like birds?
Do you like the sound of the birds? These are the birds you like to see.
Where did that come from? Yeah.
The sight, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Cool.
Braden, for my friends here, are we correct in saying that you were sent here because of your eyesight?
That's cool.
He's really strong too, like you can really feel him tugging on. The second I stand them up, I'm trying to make them level and trying to get them to do this, but they don't want to.
Because I keep getting scripture.
Did you know the security that was here that would like beat the boys who were troubled? Did he have any interactions with him, or did he ever have any bad experiences?
You can ask
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
see, that was an instant yes, and that was really strong. That one actually tugged down on my hand again. Yeah, like an area.
So Braden, is it correct that the security here would beat the boys, and is it
Yeah.
or automatically?
Answering before you're even dimension.
Ask them a question around this one. That's why I said, are you a girl? And then cross them.
Have you ever experienced it just asking to do one rock?
Yeah, sometimes I'll do just one roll directionally.
Yeah, we've sometimes had pretty good.
Mate, just for us, can you move just one of those rods all the way to Lana? Thanks, mate. Thank you. Can you bring them back to the middle now?
I need to shake that. I think between every question he's that full on.
Braden, are you here because you're still angry with this place? Is that why your spirit rests here?
He's not sure how to answer that. You can be honest. You don't have anything to fear from us. Yeah. He wasn't sure about that. Mate, I hate to ask these kind of questions, but are you stuck here? Do you keep Do you keep coming back here because this is where it's comfortable?
Is there any place he knows, maybe?
Maybe he's scared to leave. Maybe he's scared to
Yeah, ask if he's scared to leave.
You guys can ask.
Brayden, are you scared to leave this place? Is this why you reside here?
Ask if he misses his family.
Mate, do you miss your family? No.
Oh, shit.
Right? Are they the ones that sent you here?
What about his friends?
Did you have any friends here?
Did you have friendships here, mate? That's
Yeah, it's just, I think he's a bit low on energy. If you need some energy, you can take some off me, my torch down there, torch power pack. If you need a little bit more. Because he's dropped off since we were in here.
Something we'd like to ask. Brayden, have you ever revealed yourself to anyone? Have you ever physically revealed yourself to anyone? Shown yourself or...
Because it's easier to talk like this.
Do you have
Basically.
Have you
the...
ever revealed yourself to anyone visually? Of course he hasn't.
Do you have the ability to reveal yourself? Are you able to?
You probably would.
Brayden, is it your sight that's holding you back? Are you unable to visualize?
Brayden, if you'd like to visualize yourself in a happy place here, time maybe when you're with your friends, don't be afraid if you'd like to...
I got can't on the obvious.
He was here because he had a problem with his vision when we were just the two of us here this afternoon.
Okay.
So you got sight.
He was having a problem with his sight.
I'm trying to think of afflictions that would affect your eyes. And why would his eyesight be central?
Are you able to reveal yourself?
That was a slower no.
He's unsure.
Is he able to interact with
He
anything?
might be nervous though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to remember the people that like these spirits that we're communicating with here haven't really had a lot of
Maybe.
communication with others for
Yeah.
Exactly.
a while. So
Maybe Brayden, if you're not able to reveal yourself, are other spirits here able to?
Sorry, he's really intense. My arms feel like they weigh a ton.
Quickly.
Are other spirits able to reveal themselves here, and have they? Have they revealed themselves recently? Would they like to reveal themselves?
That's kind of a maybe almost.
he might.
Would they like to reveal themselves? How many boys say here at the time? How many boys did the guy say that were up here at the time?
Did he say something like 70? Or was that in the
I can't remember. Fuck, I don't know the info.
Is there more than 20?
Do the spirits that reside here, are they all the boys that were once treated here in this ward? Are they the spirits of all the boys who were treated here? All the troubled boys?
Say all their names. That's all their names. Did you know that? Did it say no?
Did he say that he was abused by a security guard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask if the security guard's still here.
Is it the security guard, mate, that's holding you back?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's not a lot of strong ones, that's get tugged.
Can you point to where the security guard is standing for me, mate? Maybe I can go have a chat with him. Is that him in the other room talking through the portal? Yeah.
That's literally pointing in the room.
Yeah.
I think that was spiked because I touched it.
Let's go for it.
Do you mean harm to that security guard?
Or no?
No, I'm still just trying to get them level.
Do you wish to harm that security guard?
16-year-old boys to keep quiet.
Well, the security guard's next door.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go and try
Yeah.
to disagree.
Did the security guards beat you if you spoke loud? I think he's already kind of going to that earlier.
I just got the figure on this. Can you point these to where the figure is so we possibly capture it on camera? It's going to be right at me, isn't
It's
it?
not moving.
Can you point the rods to where the figure is?
It's that corner.
You can come out of the corner. That's our friend Joe standing in that corner.
The bird's forward. The bird's flying again.
You said come forward. It says forward.
It says come forward.
Wait on board.
Are you looking like a loopy?
That's a little bit drained.
Who's over? Maybe the room that we were in.
Are we talking to this security guard? I feel angry all of a sudden. Are we talking to you? Were you a security guard here?
Yes.
Were you told to discipline the boys in the ways that you did?
That was much stronger than the first one.
Did you take pleasure in punishing the boys the way you did?
Is it a punishment that you're now trapped here for your actions?
Are you-
So
Are you staying here because you still wish to punish these boys?
Yeah. It's fun for him.
shame on you.
We have a few of those in our
Is that how you felt control? Take a break if you need to.
No, it's just every time I get them up, I go and pull them down.
Was that your way of controlling? That make you feel like a big man? If you had 20 minutes. Sorry.
Where,
My I apologize, YouTubers.
where are you in this room right now?
Is he in this room or is he in that room? Is he in the security guard's office? Because it's kind of pointing that way. It's are you in this exact room or are you in, if you're in, yeah, no. Are you in this exact room, the room that we're
That
in?
was a preemptive answer, Morgan. He didn't cross it.
Yeah, it's true, my bad.
I
was actually yes.
I got another question. Are you sitting on the bed right now? Are you standing next to the bed?
He's standing next to it.
Yeah, you're standing
He's
next to
looking down.
Because he's right bloody here and feel it.
That's
why I sat down.
You know? Are you looking down at the bed?
Down on me.
Is this how you would look over the boys in the bed?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. That
What?
was yes, it is.
That was
That
yes,
was
yes.
Did you hear the portal? Yes, it is.
Holy
We need a portal in here. Start.
Are there other boys trapped in here? Are there?
Are you keeping them here?
for any of the other boys in the room with us, you're more than welcome to communicate. Don't feel afraid.
Brayden, will you let the other boys know that they're safe to come and communicate?
Just literally pointing out.
Is he Brendan?
He might be standing, he might be hiding behind us though.
Yeah.
Do we know what the security guard's name?
I'm sure.
We have a few devices in here. Can you tell us your name?
What was that?
It's my Christian.
To the security guard, are you scared to pass? Is the reason that you're scared to pass because you believe you'll be punished?
Maybe he still feels power here. Because he still feels the power. Now, to recap on some of the questions and the answers that we received from the investigation with the girls, turns out we were speaking to a 16-year-old boy named Brayden. Now, Brayden was admitted by his parents or his family to Pleasant Creek Hospital due to his eyesight and behavioural issues. Whilst there, we did attain that he did make friends, but we also found out that his time there wasn't exactly pleasant. Turns out that the security guard would beat the children and beat the boys for misconduct and misbehaving. Turns out that the security guards were quite rough around the edges, if you'd say. Now in the next clip, we go into the next room, as it's where the dowsing rods keep pointing towards. In there, we don't speak to Brayden, we speak to the security guard, which turns out the security guard enjoyed beating the children and enjoyed making their time a living hell. It also turns out that the security guard is what's keeping these spirits here. From here onwards, we head into the room where the security office once resided. We ask a few questions, nothing too crazy. The investigation doesn't go for too long in there. Only a couple of questions which all line up to what we already know. From there onwards, we head back to the main hall. We sit around for a bit, go over some of the footage, and just kind of talk amongst the group with what exactly went down and what happened. After about 30 to 40 minutes of sitting around, relaxing, just kind of taking it easy, me and Brennan both decide we think it's time to pull out the Ouija board. Now, the Ouija board has never worked for myself or Brennan, which we've said multiple times. We've used it both on and off camera with no results, so we're super interested to try it at Pleasant Creek Hospital and try it with somebody who wasn't either myself or Brendan. Try it with people who have used it before and who have had success. The following scene takes place after the investigation up in the women's ward where we spoke to Brayden and the security guards, and the following scene will take place when we try the Ouija board. With that said, let's get into the following clip. Right guys, so we're going to try the Ouija board. We've got the whole group with us tonight. Everyone's here. I think we're going to give it a little crack. Brendan, who's going first?
That one is covered.
Paper rock?
Yeah.
Scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock.
Call for divine guidance. Did you bail?
No, please, it's a paper rock for us.
I like that. Is there someone here that wishes to communicate? Can you tell us the first initial of your name? The first letter. Or anything you wish to tell us. It's trying. I feel like I need to move that away. Here we go. Or a letter is someone that you wish to communicate with. Let's try. That's it. Use the energy from the candles, from the pump here. That's it, that's it. Thank you. Can you show us the letter of your first name? That's it, thank you. What letter is that? G.
It's almost on G.
Yeah. Can you spell out your whole name for us? We've got G. Can you go to the next letter of your name?
G-E.
Are they your initials? You've got yes and no at the top of the board here. If that's easier for you. If your name's George, can you go to the O? Can you move it anywhere? Can you tell me the first letter of my name? It's like a monster, but it's like...
So the spirit that we're communicating to, don't be shy. Move the planchette to yes for us if you'd like to continue talking to us. Move it anywhere on the board. Feel your energy. Don't be afraid.
That's it. It's moving slightly.
Yeah, it's
Like
really
so
slow.
slightly.
Yeah.
It's so weird that you can feel it trying so hard.
Is there perhaps a particular person here you'd like to speak to? So you're able to perhaps spell their name out or move the planchette to yes or no? Try to like swap people maybe, or do you continue? I don't know. Swap people. Do you want to jump in, Brendan? Someone else to try maybe?
I want to jump in. I'm just going to pick you up.
Goodbye. That was pretty weird though, I'm not gonna lie.
I think we should get him
That was fucking strange.
Yeah.
I don't know. You definitely feel it moving.
Yeah.
Swap over, you give it a try. That was weird, man.
I don't do it.
That was weird. If it did GE for us as well.
Yeah,
It did.
It did the same, didn't it?
Thought it might have been going to the tea, but it wasn't.
So,
Yeah.
I was waiting for it to say get out. I was
Yeah,
like,
no, so was I.
GES.
Yeah, GES.
initial? Oh, maybe.
GES. What the fuck is GES? What spells GES?
Gestate?
JSC.
GESC.
ES.
CBR.
CBR. Look at his blameless.
GSCBRT.
I have no idea what any of that would mean. Literally no idea. What is that?
H.
H. Did you ask it to like start over high? HI?
I think we should maybe ask it to start. Now it's just going along.
Is it going HIJ?
Yeah.
It's not going down the letters of the alphabet, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It's going down the letters of the alphabet.
Now it is.
HIJK.
After we went to H.
It shouldn't be going down the letters of the alphabet.
What's going
It's
on?
got to be a
I'm
child.
We did an episode on I can't remember
Yeah,
what happened.
it's bad. HIJK.
Is it bad if it doesn't do the whole alphabet?
I don't know.
Or is it just bad if it does the whole alphabet?
Oh, that must be him, it's also. He's just swimming in wax. Yeah,
You try to ask it a yes or no answer.
So not under 10, but is a boy. Are you the security guard?
I get fucked.
Did you follow us down from upstairs?
Did you just hear that? Did you hear that? Literally something here just moved.
Yeah, it was the parabolic mic.
Literally something just like tapped this.
Yeah, it was the headphones. When you move the headphones, it's the same.
Like that, like I literally heard that right behind.
No. I honestly can't see the glass anymore.
B.
B. It's going to an R. Maybe spelling it random.
Is that an R?
Yeah, that was a R. I can't see it again. It's on the other side of my hand.
B-R-A.
Spelling out Brandon.
Bra. What's that going to?
I was looking at you.
Brandon. It's spelling out Brandon. The kid that was upstairs.
Upstairs?
Yes, that's what I said.
Oh my goodness.
There was something between you two at one point, and then there was something that came across the floor with you.
And then I heard that, like, that was literally clear as day. Something hit. Something tapped
Something
there.
came across the floor with you. A cordon image in the window.
Yeah, something, it's like something literally tapped behind
That
me.
window,